Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another cast and matchup in Australia. We are in Division 4 today with a really interesting matchup between Heddicimi and Carp. Calamity, Heddicimi, a long-time Division 4 member. Carp, a newcomer who has really taken the division by storm. As we take a look at their stats, Carp not only having good games, but he's almost on a perfect season going into this fourth week here.
Yeah, Carp has only dropped points in a single round, but Heddicimi on the other side also just 2 rounds where he dropped points. Heddicimi started the season very well with a win followed by a perfect score as on top of a win. So he started with 7 points in the first 2 weeks. Carp essentially just almost did the same. He got 6 points in the first 2 weeks with one perfect score in there, but hampered by a draw. And then in week 3, Heddicimi, unfortunately, mostly due to France, which is quite ironic, but dropped an actual quite possible victory against Diesel of all people. And unfortunately, no points out of that, which meant he fell down a bit in the table, still in 4th though, whereas Carp got another perfect score in a perfect draw against Nakuro, which leaves him currently in 2nd place.
Not too bad. Yeah, both of them in quite good form going into this one, but Australia definitely a whole different kind of challenge than the maps we've had so far. This map by /P has an average score of 16,500. It's been played almost 15,000 times, plenty of locations. In this one, I think it's safe to say that even with 4.5 minutes, we're probably not looking at perfect games for either one of these two, Calamity.
It really depends a lot on the locations, of course. I think like 4.5 minutes is getting to the point where you can pinpoint most Australian locations. So it just depends on whether they have practiced and whether they don't have anything that's on like a long straight road, because that is, of course, the problem that could arise where all the time in the world isn't going to help you if you have to pinpoint a location down to like 40 meters on a 2 kilometer long straight road with no reference points.
Yeah, definitely not something anybody really wants to do in this one. Well, best of luck to them both. Let's jump right in then to round number 1 and see what they can do. We have the benefit of Heddicimi's camera. We can see his reaction, so that's always fun to see. Both of them do commentary, so check out their videos on their respective channels to hear what they have to say. Don't have to listen to us.
You should, though.
Yeah, this feels a lot like last week. Lots of car dealerships. I don't see a Volvo yet, but
yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, this is definitely a round where you, not a round like I mentioned before, where you should have too much trouble pinpointing. And a little bit of a sign there for Carp.
Yeah, what's interesting
34.
Is the road numbers change. There's a new sign with some different coverage, which is a bit interesting. So the B56 and Tamworth is actually going to be the probably the newer sign, or is that the older sign? I'm not sure which is which.
I can tell you once we see it on the map, because then it should become apparent which is the current road number for the road. But
if I remember right, because I did play this one, it is the 56.
Yeah, probably. Then that would be the newer sign.
Yeah.
And Tamworth is not that small, so if he was looking in the right state, which he isn't, then it would probably bring him close to the city pretty quickly, as Heddicimi has also found Tamworth on a bus. And
7 different times, so...
yes.
Yeah.
And he's also seen that the bus had yellow number plates, so he should know we're in New South Wales. Or at least, could theoretically be a car that just traveled to a different state. But if you see more yellow license plates, and there was just one there on a motorbike, then that would guarantee it.
Yeah, he heads out of town looking for some better signs, but only is going to get a hint at where a hotel might be. Carp spending quite a bit of time just looking at the map. He's got this intersection with these signs, and he's hoping to spot either the town name or the road numbers. But he is not in New South Wales at the moment. So
Yeah, you do have all of these lettered roads in Australia, and they don't go throughout all the states. So maybe he's just convinced for some reason that, well, the B ones maybe are just in South Australia, but now he's seen they're not. They're in other parts of Australia too.
There we go. So that'll help him adjust his pin with about a minute and a half to go, coming up on that mark. Heddicimi now at that same intersection, both of them sensing that this is probably the best information they're going to get in this little town, at least in the neighborhood, and they're going to start looking for it.
Yeah, Carp's found Tamworth.
And yeah, I think we saw a little bit of what you talked about with 4.5 minutes. You could pretty much just at a decent zoom level scan quite a big chunk of the country.
Yeah, and if this was 3 minutes, the round would be over, and both of them would have already lost points. I mean, Carp significantly less than Heddicimi, but yeah, he wouldn't have been able to pinpoint it within 3 minutes. Not even 3.5 at this point, although now he's at the stage where he would only lose like maybe 10 points.
So he's in the right town. But yeah, Heddicimi struggling to figure out where exactly he might be. I haven't actually checked where he dropped his pin. I think he is in the right general area, but still quite a ways off. There is a Gunnedah and airport, but again, he's looking near Melbourne for some reason. Might think some of these areas are suburbs. Isn't a bad guess, but it will be Harp to continue on with his amazing season. That extra minute really coming into play here, helping him pinpoint his location, only 5 meters away. And with 10 seconds and Heddicimi pretty focused in on trying to find a blue shield number in the suburbs of Melbourne, he will be unfortunate and drop. I mean, he's even in the right state. This just actually no, Victoria is a different state. Sorry,
he's not. No.
Yeah, only 1,220 points for him, and that is not the start he would have wanted.
Definitely not. No, it's a bit unfortunate there. Just, I don't know, not looking, not knowing enough things to help him narrow down the states. And at that point, obviously, a road like the B56, you can find it if you look in the right areas. We saw Carp did eventually find it, but also only because he finally realized there's other states that have B roads too. And so, yeah, just Heddicimi never really looking in the right place. And at this point, considering how Carp's currently done, probably looking unlikely to be picking up any points here, but you never know.
You never know. I think we saw in one of our Australian matches, I think it was Division 2, it was quite back and forth. So, if Carp has a real, zinger of a round, Heddicimi could be right back in this. But we'll see if that comeback can start here in round number 2 as we jump into this one. Yeah, almost a 4,000 point lead for Carp as we get in. And if anything, Heddicimi can now know the pressure's off. He can enjoy the sights. Swan Valley and wineries in the area.
So now if you know where the wineries or the vineyards in Australia usually are, it might give you a bit of an advantage.
Yep. Definitely helpful. Neither of them jumping to the map right away, so
no
exactly sure.
Wine connoisseurs.
Yeah. Well, I think we know Heddicimi is old enough. I don't know if Carp's old enough. I actually don't know how old he is, so if he's underage, Carp, you should definitely not be a wine connoisseur.
I'm pretty sure he's under the legal drinking age in the US. I'm not entirely sure if he would be in any other country in the world.
What is the legal drinking age in Australia? Is it lower than in the US? Almost everywhere in the world is lower.
I think pretty much everywhere is either. I think in Austria it's 16, but I think most of the world is 18. Let me look that up.
Yeah, you've got some time. They are
because
heading down the road here.
Not sure they'll find too much useful information, but we'll see.
Yeah, Carp is heading south, as so is Heddicimi. So whatever they see. Oh, there we go. Western Australia Black Spin Project? Black something. There's a bolt on the middle of the word. I can't quite read that. So there's the nice little area for him there. Again, Heddicimi going to outside of Melbourne. He just likes that city, I guess.
Yeah, could be. I'm trying to see whether I can find out what this project is, but it's neither Black Spin Project nor Black Swan Project, potentially. I thought nothing of that.
Oh, Black Spot Project. There we go.
Okay.
Giving us a much closer view. So he will move his
yeah.
pin to Western Australia just in the nick of time.
The legal drinking age is 18 to 19 in 61% of countries, including Australia.
There we go.
There is no legal minimum drinking age in apparently 19 countries. You can drink whenever you want in China or Indonesia, Bolivia as well. Just want to have a beer at 7? Go on. And the US is the highest, well, technically, of the countries that do allow you to drink, because there are 16 countries that don't allow it at any age. Of those that do, the US is the highest with 21 years of age among 11 other countries, including, for example, Mongolia, Oman, Syria.
I think Poland is 20.
Cote d'Ivoire, and Sri Lanka as well. I can't spot any of the others. Poland is actually 18 to 19 as well.
Did they change that?
Well, it's on this survey or thing from, I think, 2015. So I don't know, but out of the European countries, like the lowest is like the Benelux and Germanic states, with like Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and everyone at 16 to 17, and Spain and Portugal at 16 to 17 as well. And 10 to 15, apparently, for 2 countries in the world, which is one African country in the middle there. And I can't see the other one in that. It must be like a small island nation or something like that.
Okay. Color-coded maps. In the meantime, they've both reached a very nice highway intersection that gives them lots of clues, and both of them are kind of honing in on it. I think Carp is actually on the right road. Heddicimi is not too far off. He'll move his pin and actually, as I say that, be on the right road as well. Yeah. The interesting thing about drinking age is that's like commercial. Like, if your parents give you alcohol at home, they will not be arrested, but a establishment cannot serve it to you.
I'm pretty sure that would also depend on the country, but
I guess that's true, yeah. As they'll run out of time. An ace for Carp, so it stays pretty good for him. And yeah, Heddicimi will kind of lean back in his chair a bit, just a little bit too far down the road, losing 6 more points. But a very nice round. At least he doesn't fall too much further behind their Calamity.
Yeah, and it wasn't too easy of a round. I suppose the sign for Western Australia definitely helped, but yeah, I think losing 6 points there isn't too big of an issue, and, well, probably not the rounds that he'll be frustrated about looking back at it.
Indeed. Well, let's jump into round number 3. Still about 4,000 points to make up for Heddicimi here, and now we've got one of these straight dusty highways in Australia. Could be an opportunity. He will head north, Carp will head south, so he doesn't know it when he's playing, but he could catch something before his opponent does.
Yeah, that definitely makes it much more likely that they'll see different things. He just has to hope he chose the right direction.
Yep, and that Carp's a bit unlucky on this one. You can see straight ahead of him, it's a long, straight road, but for both of them. And, well, so far, Carp has seen lots of signs, but those signs have had nothing really helpful on them. Oh, there we go. Binu. 5 kilometers away for Heddicimi, if he even knows where that is. I don't know if you're going to be able to spot that on a map of Australia, though.
I don't think anyone knows where that is. Of course, now I do, because I've, played through these seeds. Another little piece of more interesting information about the Black Spot Project. That is apparently a government-funded program to reduce or, well, increase the safety of dangerous roads. Frequent crash sites on roads like that, and just improve the safety, like put maybe traffic lights there, increase like the quality of the road and stuff like that.
Well, there's Benu East Road, and Carp is not wrong to start to guess in the middle of nowhere on a long empty highway. So
Yep,
they both
certainly a
have
good
seen
idea.
Benu and some street names, well, very local street names, so we can see if they can turn that into anything. Still 2.5 minutes or so to go.
Carp is coming up to something there in the distance, something white.
Hopefully it's just not a mirage. Nope, it appears to be actually somewhat of a town. Holy cow, that's a sign for you right there. Northwest
Yep.
Coastal Road, Highway 1, Billabong, 143 kilometers.
Mm,
Denham,
that's
321.
that's a fantastic sign.
That
You
is a
can see
fantastic sign.
Carnarvon a bit southwest of where he is currently, and then you'll know
Mhm.
he's 390 kilometers further south.
Yeah, the only disappointing thing about that sign is those are some very large numbers. So
Yeah, but fortunately, Calbury is right next to him there, and he has already seen signs to a city that's closer, which is
yeah,
Binu. That's just 5 kilometers away, and it is quite big there on his screen, but he's just not seen it yet. He's
I
zoomed
don't
out a
think
bit too far
I
now.
don't think Carp has seen Benu as a town name. He's seen it as a road name. He might be able to draw
That's possible, yeah.
draw that conclusion. Heddicimi is the one who's got the town name, and he is looking in Western Australia, but again, he has not seen that sign, so he might be a little bit unfortunate that he went the wrong way on this one.
Binu does actually stand out pretty quickly, though, for
Mm,
how small it is, just because there is nothing else in Western Australia anyway
yeah.
in this sort of region, so might as well put it big on the screen there.
Yeah, I just think that with about a minute left to go, Hideki doesn't realize how close to the coast we are.
Hmm.
So he definitely started checking out the eastern side of Western Australia, didn't see it, and kind of moved further east. And just really unfortunate that he didn't catch. Nope, that's not going to be helpful. And he can look off into the middle distance there and see. Yeah, there's not a whole lot. There's some water. Yeah, or what would be water maybe in the wet season. Not
Hmm.
now. More unuseful signs for him as we get that 30-second mark. I'm sure he's like, you know what? Yeah, I just haven't seen a whole lot.
Yeah, in the meantime, Carp is pretty much in the right place. Pinpointing wise, he's
A bit
trying
tricky.
to make sure he's getting it all correct, or close enough at least.
There is a slight curve to his south. And yeah, with a massive zoom out and 10 seconds left, this is going to be just an instant guess. And he's actually, if he drops a pin, he's not going to be too far off.
Hmm.
Carp, though, another perfect round. And that is not a bad guess from Hideki, given that all he had was Benu and not that nice sign. There's Benu right there.
Yep.
3,938 points. So for the information he had, Calamity, that is a really good gut guess, but just unfortunate that he didn't head south on that one.
Yeah, bit unfortunate for that reason. Also, didn't quite trust his gut in that regard, I suppose, in that he didn't decide to look earlier for maybe if he could see Binu. I mean, I don't blame him. I probably wouldn't have either because it's very unreliable and you never know. But yeah, just I guess a bit unfortunate and fortunate in a way that's unfortunate he went the wrong way, but fortunate it could have gone way worse as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that in the last few rounds he's done really well. It's just that one bad round he's going to try to recover from, and Carp is not giving him any quarter at all. As we will jump into round number 4, 15,000, 3 perfect rounds, 10,152.
Mm-hmm.
That gap still within a single round. If Carp got into like 0 points, which you never know. We start off on a coast with a nice little sign. Get me thinking maybe Tasmania.
This is, by the way, my favorite round out of all of the seeds.
Mm-hmm.
You do get a pretty clear image
Mm-hmm.
on that map there that Heddicimi has, which is exactly this, right?
Mm-hmm.
As Carp is trying to find other information along the road.
Yeah, I think Heddicimi is like pretty much saying, hey, I think this sign's all I need.
Yeah, it is pretty much. I mean, it would help slightly, to
Well, there is
if you had any
Tasman
idea about. Yeah.
safety speeds that will confirm for Carp that we should be somewhere near Tasmania, in Tasmania rather. Not near it,
Somewhere
we're in it.
near it. Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
technically I don't think you even need to move from that sign at the start to get a 5K in this location, but obviously you can find other information along the street. I think Carp has gone past it, but looking at the signs that Heddicimi is about to come up to, not this one, that's pretty hilarious as well. Everyone I've seen, every single video, have looked at that specific sign, but there's speed limit signs coming up there right on Heddicimi's screen, and behind that, yes, he's turned around. He's seen it. He's the first one I've seen who actually turned around to look at the city name. Yeah.
A very interesting bit of information. So he'll pick a little bit of a bay right there. But, Carp doing his best. I'll tell you that as someone who's played this round, I think you don't really need more than that sign because I traveled. Okay, well, we've got the sign at the beginning. You might as well spend, 3.5, 4 minutes just searching for something. And didn't see a whole lot. So I didn't turn around, that's for sure.
Yeah, the one thing that you do, of course, always have is you never quite know with an image like that whether it's like quite a big, gonna call it a screenshot, quite a big area that you're looking at, or if it's just like a super small bay. You can't quite tell sometimes, but once you do find it, and there you go, Heddicimi's in the right place. Once you do find it, it becomes pretty apparent where you are, and you also have that little island off of the, off of the coast there, that you can also use to get even closer, even without knowing without knowing the city name, essentially.
Yeah, there we go, an ace for Heddicimi, making good use of that sign. And I think actually Carp is in the right spot. Yeah, he is.
He is.
In the meantime, he has moved his pin over there, but he is not confident in that placement. It seems to match the picture and some names, but he is going to spend some time looking around and, let's hope he readjusts and goes back, because that was it. But I think that just shows you right there when you're not confident, like you could be exactly where you need to be. And then you're like, if you second guess yourself, no, that can't be right. Really? Is that really what it is? He's got about 40 seconds to see if he can't reassure himself.
I'm curious as to what he's currently looking for specifically, because he had that image. So he should know what the bay looks like, essentially. And he's now going off of that island that he could see from the coast, which is reasonable, yes. But I can only imagine that he's completely forgotten that there was an image of how the bay looks like right next to him at the start.
Yeah, but lucky for him that there's enough other clues kind of help him out here. Yeah, there's a bit of a little loop. That does seem to be right. So Heddicimi will be very happy how quickly he figured this one out. But unfortunately, Carp is up to the challenge still. Another ace 12 meters away for him. So just, I mean, no matter what Heddicimi does, nice rounds, poor rounds, the consistency of Carp is just quite remarkable.
And Carp's mentioned recently that he thinks he really benefits from having those 30 additional seconds, even compared to Formula G. And I think this just supports it, because you could really see how in a few of those rounds he really needed every single second to get right there at the end. So, looking at how he's currently doing the table, it's pretty possible that he'd get promoted come next season. So that'd be an interesting one to look at, or how much he really relies on those 30 extra seconds.
Yeah, as time limits get smaller and as you move up in the division, so he'll have to get a little bit faster and with his guesses if he wants to keep progressing through Reddit League, but not a bad place to start in Division 4. We'll jump into the final round. We'll see if Carp will drop any points, and well, I doubt it with
Probably
a round
not.
like this. Yeah.
Nope.
He's looking at another perfect game. Make that 3 out of 4 for him, probably. Heddicimi will be looking to pick up an ace here as well. 20,000, over 20,000 was not a bad score for Australia, but he will definitely, that first round just was really all it took to kind of throw you off for the entirety of the game.
And you had that on that.
Harp's already got it. So
on that, I think it was a garbage disposal truck at the start. Actually, no, it says territory plant hire on it, so probably not garbage. Probably it's like planting trees or something like that. But on that, you can see the flag of the Northern Territory, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, we are in the coast in Darwin, and yeah, a very quick guess from Heddicimi. Not the hardest round. Right on the beach. Catch a few. From Carp, catch a few crossroads. You've got it. Heddicimi doing the same thing, but it will take him a little bit longer to figure that out. Night Cliff swimming pool that we spotted just up to his north. There we go.
Yeah.
And he'll with 3 minutes still to go, he will be looking to get an ace as well. But yeah, that's how GeoGuessr goes. Sometimes it just takes one round. To kind of cost you the game and makes it pretty impossible to come back from. But he did certainly give it a go. His score differential and whatnot will not take a big hit on this one as it could have if he would have given up. So that's nice. Kept his confidence up. That's always good.
Yeah, he's certainly not done a bad job. Just that one round where he's lost a lot of points at the beginning, and then a solid finish, solid 4 other rounds as he gets another ace there. But obviously just not enough for any points this week.
Yeah, 20,152 for him, and you can see there that massive line in round 1. That was by far the worst guess he had, and another perfect game from Carp. It seems like no matter what we throw at him, he's going to be doing quite well. I mean, next week in Idaho might not be something that would challenge him. It's not the hardest of states, but maybe we could see in week 6, Russia. Maybe he'll drop points there. Maybe he won't. Who knows? We'll have to see. You'll have to keep watching if you want to find out. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you a couple more videos from this division. It's really competitive, very close. And we're getting to some very interesting countries. So you definitely want to hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss out on anything in the upcoming weeks. And we will catch you all in the next one. Take care.
Bye.